Okay, let's log in as a user. Let's reserve an event. Uh, in MySQL Workbench, in the event table, you can see that there is already an event reserved on March 5th. So let's reserve another event on March 5th. Here the validations are same, that the date can't be in past, and if the date is in present, the time can't be in past. So let's book an event on March 5th, 18. So when we select duration as 8 hours, we'll get an error because the duration exceeds the closing time. So let it be as 3 hours and enter the estimated attendee system. And then name as, so we'll reserve the event and enter the payment information. Submit. So we'll just reserve an event. Okay, now let's reserve another event on the same date, that is March 5th. Now we'll get an error saying that the date already has 2 events, and when we go back to the database, we could see that there are 2 events on March 5th, and the second week of March, that is from 8 to 15, has already 4 events reserved. Let's reserve another event. Enter the credit card details. Okay, let's reserve an event on March 11th. Now we can go back to the database and check a new event on March 11th. Now just refresh it again. Here you can see there are 2 events on March 11. Now let's try to create another event on March 11 and check for the date validations. So if we submit a query, it shows that there are already 2 events. If we try to create, so that's how we get an error if we have more than 5 events in a week, if we want to reserve more than 5 events in a week. So let's go back. Okay, let's go to the view my event summary function and submit the query. We'll get all the events reserved by this user. We'll select an event and try to change it. So as you can see, there are all attributes. Let's change it to some different time. And by the way, we can also confirm the pop-up confirmation right here. If we press cancel, it will go back to the previous data, and the start date has the same validations that it can't be in the past, and if it's in present, the date can't be in past. And it also shows that there are events that are booked in that week. So let's change the date to 16 and change the duration to 5 hours, and the validations for estimated attendees. The estimated attendees cannot reach the hall, cannot be more than the hall capacity, and the event name must start with a capital letter. And let us decrease this to 19, and the event name should contain characters between 3 and 40. So let's modify it. We'll get a pop-up confirmation if we press OK. The details get modified. As you can see, we have changed the event, which is on 12th to 16th, and estimated attendees to 19th. Now let's go to the database and check whether it has been changed. As you can see, the event date has been changed, the start time has been changed, and the estimated attendees have been changed. So let's go back to the web page and go back. We'll be on our home page. Let's view our profile and go to and try to update our details. Let's modify the details. These are all the information that we can change except for the role. Okay, let's start by changing the username and also checking each and every validations. So we'll get a pop-up confirmation, and after checking OK, we'll able to see all the validations. Let's go and change. So username must start with a letter. And username length must be between 4 and 20. And username cannot contain a special character. And even though we leave it here and press OK and we press cancel on the pop-up confirmation, all the details will go back to the original details. So let's come here. Let's check the password validations. Password length must be between 7 and 30. And password must contain a lowercase, at least one uppercase, one lowercase, one number, and one special character. And the last name must start with a capital letter. And password last name length must be between 2 and 30. And last name cannot contain special characters. I'm just making a little chain so that we could see it in the database. And the first name has the same validations as the last name. So let's just let's just skip first name and we'll go to UTA ID. It says that UTA ID must be a number and UTA ID must be a 10 digits in length. So the phone number has same validations as UTA ID. So let's just change that. Let's just skip that. And email should contain the earth symbol and it should have a valid domain name. And street number must be greater than 0. And it must be a number. And the street number should only contain less than 7 digits. So let's check. And street name must be non-numeric. City name must start with the capital letter. And the city must contain at least 30 to 40 characters. And city must be non-numeric. The state must be non-numeric. And state must be a 2-letter abbreviation. And it should also be a valid abbreviation. Let's change the zip code. So the zip code must be a number and it should also be a 5 digits in length. Now since all the details are correct, if you press OK here, it should be changing in the database. So let's go to the database and check the system user table and just refresh this. As you can see here, we have changed his last name and also the email from .gov to .com and street number 10, even the city and state, and also the zip code. So let's go back to the user homepage and log out as a user. Now let's log in as a manager. And view the all events summary and select any one of the events. And let's modify the event. As you can see all the details that we can modify here. This is same, all the validations are same as event summary page. Let's go to the assign staff last name. Let's enter an error staff name which doesn't exist and try to modify it. So here, when you press cancel, the details will get back to the original data as shown. So let's enter in a name which doesn't exist in the database, and we will get a combination error, and these first name and last name also do the name validations. Saying that last name must be non-numeric and first name length must be between 2 and 20. The same for the last name. Must be non-numeric. It must start with a capital letter. So now let's go to the database and get the first and last name of an existing Caterer staff, which is the last name is Adams and the first name is Sam. So let's enter Adams and Sam and try to modify this. So now let's go back to the home page. You can come back to the database, go to events page and refresh the table. As you can see that the event event K party has an assigned name Adams and Sam. So let's go back to the web page and log out as an